So I'm in the middle of my golf simulator build. I used to have the golf simulator along this wall, and I just made it workable for a long time because I didn't want to spend the money. But I bought a bigger boat, and so now I need the space on the other side for the width of the boat to be able to fit it there. And so that meant that I needed to move the simulator due to the backswing and the length of the simulator. So I moved the screen to that wall. It fits almost perfectly for that. I'm building a complete floor so everything's level. So we'll have a putting surface and a hitting surface. As you can see here, this is the box for my Country Club Elite. It's 20 inches by 36 inch hitting surface. And I'm going to use turf from Menards that's 49 cents a square foot, and put some carpet padding underneath the entire surface so that the balls don't hit real hard when they hit off of the net onto the ground. But yeah, I'm pretty far along here and I think it will turn out really well. Still need to remove the ceiling fan. I removed the wood burner that used to be in here. I have repositioned my lights. I have hung the projector. So all that is done and we're ready to go. I do use the Garmin R10. I did buy a PC finally since E6 Connect is no longer, and the higher end model no longer works with iOS, which is very unfortunate. So that will be a new upgrade as well. I have a giant TV I'm going to put over here. We're going to put a bar in right here, a bar top. I have a really nice piece of 2-inch sugar maple that is going to be my bar top live cut edge, so that'll be pretty sweet. The whole surface is going to be sheeted with 5/8 plywood, so it should look really good by the time it's done. We'll have some really good times out here, and yeah, thanks for following along. Please hit like and subscribe. So on this piece right here, this is the insert for the Country Club Elite 20 inch by 36 inch foam pad. I think the overall height of it is 1 5/8 inch. So with that consideration, the top surface is about 5/8 of an inch. So that will sit 5/8 above, which will be perfect with my 5/8 wood. So that's a 1 3/4 inch drop from the top. I'm gonna lay a piece of 5/8 inch board for that inlay, and then it'll have a piece of 3/8 inch carpet padding. And if I need a little more height, I'll add more carpet padding. This will help prevent injury to wrists and elbows from hitting from a really hard surface. So that should work out really, really well. As you can see, my floor is it had a really significant slope. So this used to be a dog kennel. So there's a significant slope. I think it's 1/4 inch per foot from each side to the middle. So this will give me a perfect area to hit against so that hopefully balls do not drop down below. I did buy some foam for that as well to prevent that, and we will probably put a lip along this corner, but to prevent balls from falling down on that side. I also have a net, which will be shown a little bit later, that will go from each side to prevent it from hitting walls and to prevent it from hitting ceiling. Likely all of those bulbs will be removed just in case. I don't want to deal with picking up glass from fluorescent bulbs. So my screen is stretched with these little bungee things that I found on Amazon, as well as these, I think they're just called tarp clamps. And I built this whole frame a long time ago, just out of 1/2 inch conduit, welded it together. Yes, I know that's not a great idea, but I'm leaving a gap between the wall and my screen because my air conditioning mini split units back there, so that does provide some heat for us. I'm gonna have a water line going through this wood here as well to serve for the bar sink that's gonna be back there. Additionally, I'm not sure which hitting screen I purchased, but it's worked out pretty well. The image doesn't show up great on there, but it is an actual golf impact screen. But behind here is a tarp, I'm sorry, not a tarp, but a painter's drop cloth that's 9x12 that I purchased at Home Depot. So I use that just to prevent light from coming through on the backside, as well as to make my screen last a little longer. So that's also secured in on the top with the tarp clips. So it should help hold pretty well. And we're gonna figure out the net when we get to it to prevent balls from coming this way and going towards the wall, and from hitting the ceiling and going through the holes, which used to be an issue on the previous simulator. Complete frame built. The frame is 12 by 20 long. So I built it in two different sections. I am not a framer by any means, but I can put wood together. This doesn't need to support much weight. It's more or less just to level the floor. So definitely overkill for overall. You could probably use 2x4s and it'd be plenty. However, I needed the lip on the bottom of my screen because we were losing balls up underneath it. So that was really important to me. So that's why we did that. So we ran PEX down through, so we'll have water down here at the bar end. We're running electrical for charging for the Garmin R10, and then electrical for the computer there. And the PEX goes all the way through to my water supply down here. We put supports in throughout everything to firm up the platform. And now we're gonna sheet it. Well, I completed the hitting surface and the netting and put in 5 total cups. There's one just to the right of that chair. We can take the chair off. We have 20 foot, or almost 20 foot putting surface, about 18 feet from end to hole. The netting was a little bit of a challenge. I used the galvanized pipe to attach a bunch of zip ties to, so I can still pull it backwards. I attached it with the tarp clips here to the screen to hopefully prevent balls from coming out. One will definitely find its way, I'm sure. Same for the top. These were secured to the wall in the corners so we could pull these tight and have all of the screen. And then down here on the bottom, I just put screws in every 1 foot all the way down through to pull this net tight. So we have the hitting surface as well. So the hitting surface is the Country Club Elite mat. There is two pieces of 3/8 carpet foam, as well as this green carpet on the bottom, and that gives us almost a perfect surface. It's got quite a bit of sponge to it, so it feels like you're hitting real ground. Hopefully help prevent elbow and wrist injuries. We put the 3 cups there. This one's a little bit off, so that it does not align with this one. So you can have a long putt there. And these are gutter inserts. They're triangular foam. So I'm actually going to staple the back piece of the screen to the bottom so that the balls don't fall through, and then those can sit up against it nice and snug and not fall down into the stapled portion. And it'll also help pull my screen a little bit tighter. I like a little bit of a loose screen so that it doesn't bounce back. We have a problem with that at my friend's simulator. And then we used a piece of 2x8 on the side of the 2x6 to provide a little bit of a ball lip. Did it in the back as well. Pretty fast ball is going to come off of there, but it should hold it a little bit. Probably going to add one to this edge as well to keep balls in, and as well down here I may add another 10-foot section to prevent balls from dropping. So that's where we're at. I don't think we'll have any issue with the light as I previously thought. The fan can probably actually stay in place as well, but it may get removed as well. I do have an additional one of these pleather chairs to put over here on this side. The idea was to keep the ottoman over there. Computer is going to get mounted here, right above that electrical box. I also did wire in an electrical box here, which I haven't cut out that yet. But for the most part, we are done. So I'm going to purchase GSPro and set up the computer hopefully this week sometime. So we have club data down here on the floor projection, club speed. This would be player if we were in an actual game. I just have a hitting box, an actual club, and then up here gives me some other data from OBS. So it's a great extra tool. Can't see it as well because we're in a little bit brighter environment for filming right now. So this is the Garmin R10. I tried the Mevo Plus. Did not have real good luck with that at all as far as reads go, but this does really well as far as reading golf balls. I use webcam putting, and that seems to work about 75% of the time or better, depending on lighting and whatnot. And once I'm dialed in, much better than the Mevo Plus was on its own. I tried Mevo Plus through the Springbok connector. It was terrible. Still, but not because of the Springbok connector. It was just the Mevo Plus software not working well with the computer. So as far as the screen goes, I ended up taking down the other screen because I didn't like it as well as I thought I would. I kept having balls drop down below despite the staples. The staples ended up pulling out. I ended up screwing the bottom of the screen too, which was a lot better, but the quality was not as good. I did upgrade my projector to a 4K projector, so this looks a lot better when the lighting's dim, but again, the lighting is just up for videoing right now. So this is a Carl's premium screen that works great. It has the surround on it. I velcroed the edges all the way through to the net. So I put a piece of Velcro on the back side of the net and then the Velcro on the inside of the net, and that keeps the tops connected so balls don't go through. So I haven't had a ball go through this area at all. So it works out really, really well. This side I also put in screws down below to prevent that. I did not do the lip as I had discussed earlier. As you can see, I use webcam putting, which works really well. I have floor projection, which works really well. I did build a Faraday cage on both projectors. One I built out of just a screened file box and cut a hole for the light. That seems to work really, really well. I bought it at Target. The other one I just made out of a refrigerator shelf. I bent the refrigerator shelf and then I put just our screened mesh over top of that, and that worked well. The flooring turned out great. If I could do it over again, I would probably use a higher quality flooring because I know this is going to wear out pretty quick. As much as I'm out here, I'm probably hitting 50 balls every other day at least, sometimes way more than that. Usually I'm trying to play about 18 holes per day. SGT, I'm a terrible golfer, but I love to play. These foam pieces work really well. As you can see down below, if you top a ball, it's going to blow out that, but these are super cheap as far as that goes. So for putting, it brings the ball back, to about here, so it works out well. The cups are great to putt in. Would I put them in again? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It's fun for just putting, but unnecessary for GSPro. So if you're not just wanting to putt on the surface, then I'm not sure I would put them in. My friend Sean, on his YouTube channel, you can see he just created floor projection putting holes, which look really great. That wouldn't have worked for me because I don't have a short throw projector. So for him, it works really well because his projection comes the full 12 feet from a 10-foot projection, and it looks really good. I don't have that, which isn't necessary for my setup because I have the holes, but this putts to like about a 10-foot putt, which is great. So instead of the clips, as I discussed earlier in the video, it is all just bungees wrapped to my screen, and I have had zero issues with it. I don't have any bounce back. The screen looks great. This is complimentary of Sean, his old screen, because he upgraded his to a larger screen. So computer-wise, I went through 3 different computers. So I started with a really basic mini computer, which once I started using OBS and webcam, putting, it just wasn't enough processing power to make it work. So I upgraded to a different computer off of Amazon. It was I think it was Cyber PC. It was a great computer. The Bluetooth chip in it didn't work. So I bought a dongle, which made everything work with the Garmin, so that works great. And then after that, I found a deal on Black Friday at Sam's Club. It was an incredible deal. Twice the computing power, better processor, so that worked really well for this computer now. So I got a better graphics card, I got a better processor, more RAM and more hard drive space. So that's what I went with for the same dollar amount that I had in the other one. So I returned the first two. So I've set the system up now 3 times. So it's a lot. So these are all recommendations I found from Triple Bogey, from Joe Legowski. All of these recommendations have been put together. I've used them a lot for support just based off of their videos. So shout out to you guys. If you don't follow them, go ahead and follow them because they are excellent. They are way better golfers than me, and they have figured everything out. Excellent reviews on everything. I will say 100% I like the Garmin R10 for a cheap simulator. At some point I'm either going to go to the Nova or I'm going to go to a Pro T. The Pro T is my dream at this point, but the Nova looks promising. I really like the review that Joe Legowski's done on that. So yeah, so everything's complete. Happy for it to be done. I'm enjoying playing out here. I got the boat in the building. Everything worked out as I had intended. The bar was built. We have beer on tap, so it's enjoyable. We do have ping pong now. As far as heating goes, the way I heat the building is either with the Big Buddy Max propane heater, like a garage heater. I did have to build a Faraday cage around that as well. So this is the Faraday cage that I slapped together. It doesn't look good. Eventually I'm going to rebuild it with screen mesh that you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's. So I'll probably buy some 2-foot sections for the sides. I'll rebuild the entire frame and I'll screw it to the ceiling and make a better cage for all sides, which will help. But that's the Mr. Heater Big Max. I left one side open and 2 sides closed, and I'm having 0 misreads. I'm able to read chips from about 2 to 5 yards. I have no issues with that. When it's super cold, I'm also using another kerosene, or a kerosene heater, just a circular kerosene heater, which keeps up really well. I just made up this golf rack because we have a winter golf league that plays between here and my friend Sean's. We play for money and it's fun, but this holds everybody's golf bags so they're not just scattered all over the garage. People can grab clubs from over the edge, and I just threw it together with extra wood I had laying around, so that works well. That is the heater right there that we use, and it produces a lot of heat and is quiet, and it doesn't interfere with the launch monitor at all, so that's a huge plus. This is how I set up my golf clubs. Makes it real easy to load and unload my bags, and it makes it real easy to play. I just walk across, pick one up, we're good to go. Prevents me from having to put them in and out of the bags a whole bunch. Thanks for watching.